Greetings, YouTubians, and welcome back to Wayne Sharp World, where today we're going to be taking a look at a Kizer that I have been dying to get my hands on for quite a while now. That is none other than the Kizer Sheepdog with a flipper delete and a cutout on the blade. And boy, oh boy, does that make a difference. Before we get too deep into this knife, though, I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. If you like what you see, please do me a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button, follow along, and I will continue to bring you the content. Now, let's take a look at some overall specs on this knife right here. We have an overall length of 7.75 inches with a blade length coming in at 3.25 inches and a cutting edge right around 3.12 inches. We have a blade width of 1.5 inches with a blade thickness of 130 thousandths. This blade here is made with 154 cm steel, and it has a cleaver style blade with a flat grind, a very thin flat grind, very nice grind on this guy. A handle length coming in at 4.37 inches, a handle thickness of 460 thousandths with a handle width of 1.25 inches and a handle material of that very nice Kizer micarta with that nice wood grainy finish. A liner lock locking mechanism, a user of a right hand only tip up carry. That is because there is a very special clip on there, which we will talk about later when we get to the handle and ergos. A weight of 4.5 ounces and a price coming in at $99. No issue whatsoever with the price. Get that out of the way right now because I enjoy this knife way too damn much to have an issue with a $99 price tag. Now, let's take a look at some size comparisons. This is the regular kind of mid-size sheepdog that I think everyone's pretty familiar with by now. I just got a couple knives for you guys today to compare to it. Not a whole lot of good size comparisons for this knife because it's so unique. But we have the Spyderco Shaman, and then we also have the Hogue Sig K320 Nitron. As you can see, both of them are longer than this knife. But in terms of sharpened edge, you definitely have a little more sharpened edge with these two, but the Sheepdog boasts a very good sharpened edge length. Like I said, that 3.12 inches is going to be plenty good enough for a lot of people looking for a good EDC knife. And in terms of the handle, actually very in between these two. You got the good choils on all three of them. You have the nice kind of little contoured knockdown area to wrap your index or middle finger around, depending on how you're holding the knife. And then the rest of the handle, it's really a combination of the Shaman and the K320, comparing it to that handle there. So a very nice in the middle comparison in terms of ergonomics and overall handle. So now we got that out of the way, let's take a look at this guy. I was a big fan of the original Sheepdog. More so the micarta version. Blade HQ came out with an exclusive micarta version that I really liked. But this one right here, this Kizer corrected any flaws with this knife, in my opinion. You have a very attractive and powerful slicey sheep's foot blade with an edge reading coming in at 17 thousandths. And it's such a tall blade. That grind is so gradual. It stays thinner, a lot closer to the edge than many other knives. It's a much better EDC blade than most will give it credit for. A lot of people don't like cleaver style blades. And to be honest, I can't say I'm a big fan of them either, because looking at a cleaver style blade, it just, when you close it too, when you close the knife, it's obviously going to have a much wider presence in the pocket. Now, we'll talk about carrying this guy when we get to the handle and ergos, but that cleaver blade, there's just no getting around it. It just adds a lot of width to the overall knife when closed. And of course, the main subject here, what really makes this so different and why I wanted to get a review out there for you guys, is the flipper delete. There's no flipper and the hole cutout. Complete game changer. Takes this knife to a completely other level that we will talk about here very soon. But outside of that, it's just a very attractive blade. I like the stonewash on this. There's so many lines on this knife. Sometimes a stonewash, a regular stonewash, doesn't really show much of those lines. The black wash really brings out the character. You see everything you want to see in the knife, and it's just fantastic. I love the lines on this knife. Kind of reminds me of a bigger Berg Blades cleaverish style blade. I can't remember Berg Slim. I can't remember the name of it, but it's just a very attractive cleaver blade. One of the few cleaver blades that really make me want to own one. Now, going into the handle and ergos, you have that flipper delete that really changes the ergos outside of the action. It affects the ergos just as much as it does the action, because it gives you that area to choke up on the blade and just really use it however you want, and it feels so good like this. And in all honesty, it feels great in a hand like this. I have enough handle to where it's a full 4-finger grip, nice jimping right there on the spine. My thumb lands right on it, so no issue there. But yeah, that's how I'm going to be using this blade every time pretty much, unless I have to make a really long, wide cut. This right here feels perfect. The contoured scales also make a huge difference, and it feels really, really good in hand. Flat scales would have been an injustice to this knife, especially as wide as it is in the handle. You really need that contouring there, and it works out really well for you. As I already noted, the micarta on this is just spot on. Looks great, feels great. You got that nice wood grainy finish and the micarta grip that the micarta brings to the knife. It brings that grip in the clip. Phenomenal clip. Recessed screws and clip. A nice wide clip that looks great. That wide clip really goes well with the blade, especially with the black wash. It brings out the outline. You can see the raw material coming through the wash, and it just goes together perfectly, and it just looks amazing, functions well, disappears in the hand. You don't feel that clip at all. I guess you always feel a clip a little, but it basically disappears in the hand, and I absolutely love that about this clip. No issues with the handle on this knife really whatsoever. Line and lock access is a breeze, and this is actually in line with the Kizer K. You hear that? I caught my thumb a little. In terms of drop shuttiness, it's a guillotine. Absolute guillotine. Just a fantastic, phenomenal action on this guy. And this is where everything kind of gets raised and set up to a whole new level, is with this cutout. Because you can, if you really want to, you can slow roll it. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but if you want to, it can very easily be done. The detent is nice and really perfect for this knife, but it's not too strong to where you can't get a good thumb roll out of it. But going into actually flicking it, oh, did you see the recoil that comes with flicking this blade? Watch my hand. It just kicks. And it's very, very manageable. It's nothing that it's going to make you drop the knife or anything. And you don't even have to really follow through with your middle finger. Once you break the detent, it just flies out on its own. It couldn't be any better. This is one of the best Kizer knives ever. Absolutely one of the best Kizer knives ever in terms of fidget factor and smoothness. I would take this knife over the Kizer K. Now, I know that's not a real direct comparison, but everyone raved about the action of the Kizer K. I would take this over the Kizer K because I think it's a better looking knife overall. It feels better in hand with the contoured scales, and the action is just to die for. You can do the middle or the index flick if you want. That works pretty well. Or you could, of course, just do the regular thumb flick. That works very well as well. But you can't beat the middle finger flick on this guy. One of the better, bigger knives to middle finger flick that I've come across in all my time of reviewing knives, and I really mean that. When you take everything I just said and factor that into the price of $99 for amazing micarta, 154 cm steel, and overall, just a very attractive design. And when you delete that flipper tab, it makes it even a little bit of a sleeker design without that flipper sticking out there. This is a home run from Kizer. You guys will see this on lists in the future. This one's not mine. It's from a viewer, so I'm going to have to send this back to him. But I will be buying my own. But I'm also going to maybe wait, because as much as I love this, I would pay for a premium version. But you probably saw they just came out with that new premium version of the Flipper Delete Sheepdog midsize. But they put a fuller, is a fuller starting right here and going out. I don't think I like that. And they have the whole cutout, and the handle actually goes through the handle. I don't know. I may end up just buying this version. I really, really love this knife. Enough to the point to where I may wait until they come out with another version that I might like better. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. But I know this. This is a Kizer model that I would 100% recommend. If you like middle finger flicking, if you like the original Sheepdog, but you want something with that cutout, I can't express to you how big of a difference that cutout makes and how much and more enjoyable these ergos are with the flipper deleted. So absolute home run in just about any way you could call a knife a home run. That's it, guys. The Kizer Mini Sheepdog with the cutout and flipper delete. Let me know what you think. I already told you what I think. I love it. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And until the next one, I'm out.